In most of the world, people will tell you the secret to getting rich is to just stop getting Uber Eat. Which is funny because if not getting Uber Eat was all it took to get rich, every college student living off ramen would already own 3 Teslas. So just telling people to save money is technically correct, but also extremely useless. Because saving money, when it comes down to it, only matters for one thing: how to not let present you screw over future you. Because present you is an idiot. Present you will say things like, "I need a $90 scented candle to relax in my apartment." Meanwhile, future you is like, "Cool, I can finally light that candle in my cardboard box under a bridge." So, instead of generic advice, here are 10 ways to save money that actually don't suck. And in 5 years, when you see me on the street and say, "Hey man, I actually saved $1 million thanks to your video," I'll say, "Oh cool," and you still didn't subscribe. Tip number 1. Buy Tesla stock. Just kidding, your broke ass can't afford Tesla stock. So here is the realistic version instead, the big 3. Housing, transport, food. If you optimize even one of them, you can screw up almost everything else and still be fine. Some people tell you to save money by skipping coffee and then go start a coffee company themselves. The truth is, skipping coffee saves you only $5, while choosing where you live saves an upward of $5,000 a month. Sure, not everyone can afford to live in a penthouse apartment in Manhattan overlooking a patch of grass, or take a long sabbatical to Bali and tell everybody that you are now building your online consulting business. You can always choose where you live in your town. For example, living closer to the city just means you are paying triple for the privilege of hearing sirens at 2 a.m. Meanwhile, splitting rent with roommates cuts your costs in half. And if you move back with your parents, that's basically 100% savings. And soon you can actually save up and go to Bali to launch your dropshipping empire. Then there's transportation. Sure, you could buy a luxury car while announcing to strangers that you're insecure in German engineering, or you could drive something boring and reliable like a sad Toyota. There really isn't a big difference, except now you no longer have to pay the hefty monthly fees that's going to outlast most of your relationships. And food? If you are willing to sacrifice a little and meal prep like a sad bodybuilder, the payoff is huge. You could save half your paycheck by not spending on DoorDash so someone else can deliver you your own kitchen's potential. The point is, get the big things right, and you won't have to stress about the $5 lattes. Tip 2. Don't be dumb with debt. Debt is like dating a toxic ex. At first, they make you feel amazing because you suddenly have money for things you can't afford, and then 3 months later they're taking half your paycheck and threatening to ruin your credit score. The problem is high-interest debt, because paying 20% APR is like setting your wallet on fire once a month. If you can avoid high-interest debt, do it. Unless you enjoy still paying $400 a month for that PS5 you sold 2 years ago. Tip 3. Build an emergency fund. Life will screw you over, guaranteed. Your car dies, your cat decides the vet bill should cost as much as rent, or you decide to start a podcast. If you don't have a buffer, you're one flat tire away from applying for a payday loan, which is basically financial Russian roulette, but without the fun of a trip to Vegas. Tip 4. Automate your savings. If money is in your checking account, your brain will immediately find important uses for it, like limited edition Pokemon cards or a gym membership. You'll go exactly twice before realizing sweating is gross. Automating a transfer from checking to savings the moment your paycheck hits means you're protecting yourself from yourself. Because we all know you are going to spend it on the next PlayStation 6 that you'll only play exactly twice before auctioning it on eBay anyways. Tip 5. Don't buy status symbols. The truth is, no one actually cares if your watch cost $50 or $5,000, except the company making the watch, who cares a lot. And perhaps the hot bombshell that you are dating who only sees you for your money, which in this case you wouldn't want to date someone like that anyway. Unless you are shorter than 5 feet 5, then you really have no choice. Tip 6. Cooking at home without crying about it. Yes, cooking takes time, but so does scrolling DoorDash for 25 minutes before realizing you're about to pay $37 for cold pad thai. You also then run the risk your Uber driver spit in it because you accidentally only tipped 10%. Learn 5 easy meals and rotate them throughout the week. For example, here is an easy pad thai recipe. You are welcome. And boom, you just saved enough to retire at 59 instead of 95. Tip number 7. Subscriptions. Subscriptions are just rent for things you don't own. You pay $15 a month for Netflix so you can spend 2 hours deciding what to watch, then give up and rewatch The Office for the 17th time. Add Spotify, Disney Plus, and other subscriptions. And suddenly you're broke because you like the idea of being cultured. The fix. Do a subscription purge. Cancel everything you haven't used in 30 days. Or rotate them. 1 month of Netflix, then cancel and switch to HBO. You'll still get all the shows, but you won't be bleeding money every month just to keep 6 CEOs in private jets. Tip number 8. Buy used, not new. I get it. Buy used sounds like advice your uncle who wears socks with sandals would give you. But here's the thing. A new car loses 20% of its value the second you drive it off the lot. Sometimes faster, depending on how quickly you crash it. An iPhone loses 40% of its value the second Apple announces the exact same phone in a new color. And it's not just cars and tech. Half the stuff on Facebook Marketplace is basically new because people buy things they don't need, use them twice, and then panic sell when rent's due. So no, you don't need to buy a haunted couch. But for anything that isn't glued to your skin, at least check if someone else bought it new, got bored, and is now selling it to you for half price. That's not cheap. That's just outsourcing other people's bad decisions. Tip 9. Understand lifestyle inflation. If you suddenly make more money and immediately decide you deserve a better car, a bigger apartment, and artisanal water, congratulations, you're just as broke as before. Only now you're broke in 8K Ultra HD. So when your income goes up, upgrade your savings before you upgrade your fridge. Tip 10. Invest like you're boring. Real investing isn't exciting. If it's exciting, it's gambling. The best investors are the ones who bought an index fund and then literally forgot their password. If you want excitement, try crypto, Twitter, or bungee jumping. At least with those, when you lose everything, you'll have a cool story to tell. If you liked this video, I am collecting donations in the form of subscribes to help fund the next video.